Oh man.
Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
One of the things I've got to comment about samurai storytelling. It reminds me so much of the West's Western films. You know, samurai filmmaking and Western filmmaking. They're so similar, and it's not a coincidence. It takes back in a time period in where things are wild, and takes in a time period where it's lawlessness, and everyone has this sort of internal code that they all follow. You know, a personal code of conduct or disconduct, you could call it to a certain degree. But it's a world in where villains thrive, and it really harkens back to that vibe of that samurai has that loner, you know, that loner that is wandering the wilderness kind of vibe. And that samurai vibe of like samurai movie telling has that same archetype as that of Westerners. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's amazing that two different cultures crafted that same structure of storytelling in two different like eras. I mean, this gives me vibes of something where you'd see the cowboy walk into the tavern and with his gun at his hip, and all the gang members there are all ready to grab whatever firearms are available underneath the table. You know, it reminds me so much of that. And let's see if this is working real quick. Okay, it's working.
Hello everyone, this is Jason Connell and Nate Fox from Sucker Punch Productions. Ghost of Tsushima was an honor to be a part of. And today, Nate and I get to share more about our next game, Ghost of Yotei. We'll be sharing how we've crafted the game around exploration while keeping Atsu's tale of vengeance front and center. We'll also talk about ghost combat and how it's evolved. And we'll introduce for the first time some new special modes of play. But let's start things off first by talking about a Japanese folk legend, the Onryo.
The people of Ezo believe Atsu is an Onryo, a wrathful ghost bent on revenge. And they're half right. Atsu doesn't care if she lives or dies, so long as she can punish the Yotei Six, a ruthless gang who slaughtered her family. After 16 years in the South, she's returned home to put their spirits to rest. It's warm memories of her family that propel her forward. When Atsu returns to her childhood home, with the push of a button, you can experience those cherished times.
Whoa. That's so cool. You kind of go in and out of memories like that.
Freedom to explore Atsu's past, the wound of her loss becomes personal. It's that pain that pushes her forward. Hunting down the Yotei Six is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades. But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Ghost of Yotei focuses on player freedom more than any game Sucker Punch has ever made. But it's also a game that at its heart is inspired by so many of our favorite wandering samurai films. So let's start off by talking about exploration at the edge of Japan. We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open world game that lets you drive your own experiences.
Damn,
Whether
this
that's
game
your
is visually...
curiosity to wonder, your thirst for combat, or a deep desire to stay focused on the story. As you explore, there's an underlying clue system that invites you to new adventures in new areas of the game that could be appealing to you.
Enough!
If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could uncover a landscape scarred by fire with more bold, samurai-like enemies to fight and abilities for Atsu to learn. Or if you ask about the Kitsune, it might lead you to an area filled with snow and deception, enemies that ambush you, and new ninja-like tactics to study.
Huh.
Atsu draws cards for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds for you. As she makes progress against the Yotei 6, her legend as the on-rail grows.
Oh man.
Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
One of the things I've got to comment about samurai storytelling, it reminds me so much of the West's Western films, you know, samurai filmmaking and Western filmmaking. They're so similar, and it's not a coincidence. It takes back in a time period and where things are wild, and takes in a time period where it's lawlessness, and everyone has this sort of internal code that they all follow. You know, a personal code of conduct or disconduct, you could call it to a certain degree. But it's a world in where villains thrive, and it really harkens back to that vibe of that samurai has that loner, you know, that loner that is wandering the wilderness kind of vibe. And that samurai vibe of like samurai movie telling has that same archetype as that of Westerners. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's amazing that two different cultures crafted that same structure of storytelling in two different like eras. I mean, this gives me vibes of something where you'd see the cowboy walk into the tavern and with his gun at his hip, and all the gang members there are all ready to grab whatever firearms are available underneath the table, you know? It reminds me so much of that.
Are you lost?
I'm looking for some old friends. The Yotei 6.
Show her the door.
There is a hefty price on Atsu's head. Now, Atsu can also hunt down her own bounties that bring her all around the land. This is a lucrative way to make some money to fuel her vengeance quest.
This game looks really dope, I'm not gonna lie. Again, I've not played the first game, so I don't really understand the structure of the gameplay, but I assume it's a traditional action RPG.
You're here for my bounty.
Whoa. Damn. Ouch. That will rip your skin apart. All that gravel, that would tear all the flesh off your thighs.
Hidden in the world are altars of reflection. Finding one inspires Atsu and unlocks a new ability to help her on the journey ahead.
She has a moment of revelation. It's kind of like in Yakuza, whenever you see something happening in the world, you'll have an epiphany and it'll teach you a new skill. It's kind of like that.
They are fun to find on their own, but for a quicker route, you can always buy a traveler's map from the cartographer.
That's kind of cool.
Ghost of Yotei isn't going to rush you through anything. You can choose what motivates you most.
Damn,
We
visually.
think the best way to play is to simply pull out your spyglass, find something interesting on the horizon, and enjoy the ride.
Let's ride.
Now, I hear about the navigation in these games, something about the wind, right? The wind kind of guides you towards the direction. As opposed to like using a UI, they use like a wind mechanic that organically guides you there.
The lands around Yotei are vast. It's not about checking it all off, it's about engaging in the content that gets you excited. Embrace that curiosity and let the wind guide you on your hunt.
Ezo is a dangerous place. Atsu always wields a weapon. As for which, that's up to you. Will you choose a katana, spear, pasuragama, odachi, or dual swords?
Those are some wide variety of weapons there.
Each is uniquely effective against a particular enemy. and
Okay,
has
so it
their
gives
own
incentivizes
set
you to try.
of upgrades to discover and master.
Plant Saito banners.
Let's see how she uses these weapons in the field. Searching for leads on Lord Saito.
This is our food, from our soil. The soldiers need it more to free you.
Free us. Inokichi steals our crops while our families starve.
Atsu's no samurai or ninja. No. She's a lone wolf mercenary who'll use every advantage, every dirty trick to win a fight.
Yeah. I do wonder if the time era that this takes place in, it predates the Meiji era.
Combat has the feel of a classic samurai movie. Every motion counts. It's about lethal precision.
I assumed that the combat in this game would be a little bit more like Assassin's Creed-ish, but it doesn't look like it at all. Maybe it is. I can't tell. Doesn't look like it though.
If an enemy swings hard, Atsu can lose her weapon. But if she's quick, she can disarm them.
The game rewards precision. Oh, looks like there's some
Choose the right weapon
unblockables.
for the job. To fight a massive enemy, her huge odachi blade is best.
Ah, I see. Damn! The way she cleaned that blade, really?
He looks like the one in charge.
Tonight, we feast!
Oh damn, stealth kills. Multi-stealth kill mechanics.
Blades are great, but ranged weapons work too. And Atsu's got an arsenal.
Oh, match rifles. I think it's 1v1. Inokichi the Hungry.
Thrown weapons like kunai, bombs, or even blinding powder can give Atsu an edge. When enemies switch weapons, you'll have to adapt.
Whoa,
Dual
enemies
swords
switch
are
weapons?
best against spears.
Interesting. Oh,
Tell me what you know about Saito.
Atsu doesn't always fight alone. She'll meet several allies on her hunt,
the infamous dog.
including a mysterious wolf.
Damn, really? Whoa!
Atsu can set up camp under the stars of Ezo. But she's not always alone.
Or horse.
Hey, friend. Share your fire with the traveling peddler?
What are you selling?
A mask said to be cursed with the unpredictable nature of its previous owner.
Camping under the stars is a great way to rest up, play your shamisen, or cook to ready for a fight ahead.
Ah,
It's
so there's
also
a
designed
cooking
to help
mechanic.
bring important characters and upgrades straight to you. In fact, in place of the journal menu from Ghost of Tsushima, we've opted for a more character-driven way of managing allies and vendors you meet in Ezo. Over time, Atsu grows to have her own wolf pack. And here, you can keep track
Well,
of
I
when
like-
a
I like
sensei
the name
might have a
of
weapon
it,
skill for
like
you,
a
or
wolf
when a
pack. That's
vendor
pretty
has
cool.
something unique to sell. Managing upgrades, resources, when to buy what can be a burden in a big open world game. At campsites, members of your wolf pack can catch up with you, offering upgrades and unique items. This helps ensure you have every opportunity to upgrade and prepare for Atsu's vengeance quest ahead. You don't have to leave where you're exploring, the game comes to you.
While exploring Ezo, you'll discover all sorts of new armor, charms, and gear. Perfect for building up Atsu around your chosen playstyle. Are you stealth, ranged, or melee focused? Find and combine the pieces that are just right for you. And of course, customize the look of your armor and weapons to make sure that your version of Atsu looks and fights just the way you want. The score of Ghost of Yotei is incredibly special to us. Our amazing composer, Toma Otoa, has created a mashup of Eastern instrumentation with Western flavors, brought to life through an exciting collaboration of many talented artists.
でこうダウンビートまで
Ah, nice. Capturing that
Like what you
cinematic
heard,
moment.
We're releasing 2 tracks featured in today's State of Play on your favorite streaming service immediately after the show.
Into the groove. So I'm kind of curious about these special modes. I remember the first game,
Digital
people
photography
talked about a
community for
multiplayer
Ghost of
mode that was
Tsushima
added
is
afterwards.
Incredible. We're happy to have photo mode back in Ghost of Yotei and look forward to seeing photos from your journey across Ezo. We want playing through Ghost of Yotei to feel like stepping inside of your favorite classic samurai films. So, from the beginning of the game, we're happy to offer a full Japanese voice track with full lip sync that you can play with subtitles.
Nice.
誰だってね
Have a really organic experience.
生きてたか狼の姫一人残らず息の根止めたと思ったまた会えたな刀鍛冶の娘
覚えておけ。アツだ。
To take the feeling of stepping
Man.
into a classic samurai cinema experience one step further, we are honored to once again partner with acclaimed director Akira Kurosawa's estate for Kurosawa Mode, which emulates his classic black and white films.
Wow. Yep. Man. It really gives a new vibe to the game.
For Ghost of Yotei, we wanted to celebrate two other influential directors who have had an impact on the genre as a whole. First, we've partnered with Takeshi Miike, director of 13 Assassins, for a mode that puts the camera closer during combat for a more intense, raw experience along with increased mud and blood splatter.
Wow.
And lastly, we've partnered with the director of Samurai Champloo, Shinichiro Watanabe. Turn this mode on to listen to some original lo-fi tracks directed by Watanabe himself.
Add that jazzy vibe to it. Oh, this stuff's gonna be totally copyrighted, I know it.
There's so many ways to make your Ghost of Yotei playthrough your own. But no matter how you play, here's one way to experience Ghost of Yotei that is sure to be special.
The merch. That is a really cool controller. I'm not gonna lie, that looks dope. Oh, the black one even looks just slick too. I kind of like the gold a little bit though too. Ooh, I like the black one a little bit more, or the gold one a little bit more, I think.
Today, you've got a glimpse into Atsu's hunt for the Yotei 6.
Dude, this
Forge
looks
your
great.
own path while discovering the secrets of Ezo. To survive, you'll need to master a variety of weapons, using lethal precision to overcome the odds and take revenge as the Onryo. Ghost of Yotei comes out on October 2nd.
Oh man,
Thank you
October!
so much for watching.
This is coming out so soon. There's so many good games coming out in October. This literally is going to be the most expensive year I've ever seen. Why is everything coming out in October right now? Everyone's fighting for Game of the Year right now. That's a wonderful presentation. I seriously would expect this game to get Game of the Year. Maybe not get Game of the Year, but it definitely competitive to... Since I haven't played Expedition 33, I can't say that it is Game of the Year material, but I've heard all the buzz around it that it must be, you know, clearly going to be a contender, a front runner. So wow, what a showcase. That was a wonderful job there. I'm not gonna lie, they did a great job there.